Nevadans take back their lives.
We never back down.
We never give up.
We're the DeCastro Brothers, and we have your back.
Together, we win.
BrothersWin.com.
At DeCastro Verde Law, the brothers have your back. BrothersWin.com.
Listen to Cofield and Company weekday afternoons at 3 on ESPN 100 AM and 100.9 FM, KWWN, Las Vegas. Live from the Findlay Toyota Studios, it's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
Jeffers live from Palms Casino Resort. We're getting ready for the NFL draft. Jeff Parles is here. We've got a special guest coming out. Lots of good guests today, and of course, it all leads up to a little after 5 o'clock. What will the Raiders do at number one? I think we know what they're going to do, and then unfolds a potentially wild and woolly draft. Jeff and I are both Jets fans, so I'm sure we'll I can't break this table, but I'll break something down here, and then we'll get kicked out of the Palms again. Again, we'll be banned. Mike Davis from Triple SEN and Fox 5 is here with us, and I know he's a draft Nick. He came up. He's like, I got my mock draft. I got the top 10. Let's do it. You have come out of the gate strong here. I know you were doing a TV spot down on the premises, and now you've got some kind of marker on your head. You don't really know what it says.
Have producer Jeff take a look at this.
Co-host Jeff.
Co-host
Producer
Jeff.
Mateo.
Oh, producer Mateo and co-host Jeff. See, I'm flustered.
Well, you just
my
met these
forehead.
guys.
Tell me, what does it say, Jeff?
It says, I heart Doza. I heart Doza.
I really do. What else can I say? My co-host Mariah Janos, when we just wrapped up Silver State Sports Live at 2 p.m. out at Chaos here at the Palms for the official Raiders draft party, at the end of the show, Mariah's like, you know what, Mike? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, because this is your guy, because you love him so much, I'm going to make a mark on your forehead. And what did she do? She took out a pair, I guess, some sort of makeup contraption. I don't know. Maybe this is eyeliner. Is that what it says? It's Jeff. I don't know. I'm not fluid with eyeliner, but all I know is I do love Mendoza, and this is the most important draft in Raiders history.
Jeff, we've been bouncing this around on the show. Mike and I talked about this on Triple SEN on Monday. Most important draft in Raiders history, yes or no?
Definitely the most important in Las Vegas Raiders history. Cop out, I know, but boy, I mean, we're going back. I mean, you could argue the Jamarcus Russell draft, which obviously ended in horror more than anything else. You go back to the draft where they took Robert Gallery at number 2 behind Eli Manning.
That was a bust.
That was another bust. See, the theme is not great here, especially in the modern era. I would say yes. In all honesty, yes. This is definitely the most important since the Russell pick, which obviously ended in a total disaster for the franchise.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason why this is such a massive opportunity is a few things. One, for as hyped as Jamarcus Russell was from a physicality standpoint, his attributes, his profile as a prospect, he wasn't as can't miss as Mendoza. From an intangible and tangible standpoint, I feel that Mendoza has proven as a Heisman Trophy winner, going 16-0, bringing the first ever national championship to Indiana. He has the results. He has the tangible things from accuracy and toughness. And then when you throw in all the intangibles between the ears, the type of person he is, his willingness to want to be great, you never know that kind of stuff with a Jamarcus Russell type of guy. So to me, I think this is just such a massive standpoint from that and from what SpyTech has done to facilitate success for Mendoza early on. Who's a first overall quarterback selected in recent memory who's entering a better situation than Fernando Mendoza? Think about it. I really don't know if anybody has entered the league in a better situation at first overall with everything that's surrounding him, from Tyler Linderbaum to getting that was a massive signing, to having a top 10 pick in Ashton Genty to having a star security blanket in Brock Bowers. I mean, he really is coming into a pretty good situation. The head coach comes into the mix after you know it's going to be Mendoza. He's got Brady as a mentor. Tell me, Jeff, is there a quarterback in recent memory who's a first overall pick that comes into a better situation?
So you could see the gears churning in my brain as you were talking there, Mike. So let's go back to post-COVID drafts here for a second. So let's just go back to 2020. Burrow, when he went to Cincinnati, brutal situation. Obviously, he got hurt right away, but they were also in the Super Bowl in year 2. So even though that situation didn't look great, it ended up being okay. Trevor Lawrence was coached by Herb right away. Obviously, that was a total disaster. And then Caleb Williams did not go into a particularly good situation.
They figured a lot of things out after the fact.
Correct.
In terms of it was the second season with Ben Johnson and all the transactions they made to help the O-line after the fact for him. I just think this is such a great situation for Mendoza to be experiencing success early on into his NFL career. And that's why Steve knows how I feel about this. I was devastated after the Max Crosby trade didn't go down because I felt having that 14th overall pick and a first next year in a loaded draft, Spytech did masterful work. And if they could have gotten a Vega Oane at 14 and plugged him in to solidify that O-line, it would have been tremendous.
It's not done yet. It's not done yet. There are 6 teams in the first round with 2 picks. Maybe you can pry one of those picks from a team where they look at it and they're like, oh, we'll give up the high pick for Crosby and we still have another pick. There are still rumors out there. Trey Wingo has been pushing him the last day or so that the Cowboys and Raiders are still talking. So there is hope for you, Mike. There is hope that Crosby could get moved today in the first round. I think it's a long shot, but I don't think it's impossible.
I could see Spytech trading back up late first to snag one of the top 7 offensive tackles I really have identified. I feel like from Mawanoa, Fano, Blake Miller, Caleb Lomu, Monroe Freeling, Caden Proctor, and Ayanuchor from Arizona State, any of those guys, if you could trade up into the bottom of the first and get them, some of those guys can play guard as well as tackle. So I just think that's where I would go. I wouldn't go safety. I wouldn't go wide receiver at 36. I think you need to shore up this O-line and then worry about maybe getting a Surratt in the 3rd. That's what I would do in a dream scenario.
My God, Mike Davis rocking and rolling. He's ready to go. Got the mock draft. We are down here at the Palms at the Center Bar, Unknown Bar at the Palms Casino Resort. You walk in the main entrance. You basically walk straight ahead. You're with us. You do want to park on the west side of the property. That's the bigger garage, and that one still has openings. The garage that's near the pool and Chaos and the Ghost Bar is pretty much filled up. So there are 2 lines of, I'll be nice and say 100+ people. I think there's more than that, but that shouldn't scare you away because these are gigantic venues. So you want to come down here and then you come see us at the Unknown Bar, and we've got a chance to win Raiders tickets. We've got a chance to win the jersey of the number 1 overall
my
pick.
God.
I mean, the salesperson, Ray, is actually going to come over and hand stitch it himself because we don't know who the number 1 pick is going to be. We know it's going to be Fernando Mendoza. Let's get back to Mendoza for a second on this front. This is one of the biggest drafts in Raiders history, I think, because you're getting the right guy at the right time. I hope he's the right guy on the field. I know he's the right guy off the field. And while fans have always kind of liked the swashbuckling type, you know, the wild man, the long hair, whatever, if it's Stabler or LaMonaco, or you can go to other guys who were throwing wildly all over the field, this guy's cut from a different cloth. And I love the news that I saw today that obviously he's got a family deal that he's dealing with his mother with MS. And he actually committed $500,000 today to the National MS Society before he's in the NFL, before he signed his contract.
And that's
how good a kid is this?
It's a tremendous kid. And let me explain to you, Steve, why this is so key to have a guy who's got the right stuff between the ears off the field, because college football is different than when you had Kenny Stabler out there. It just is, because these guys are millionaires. So the desire to the will, the want to be great, I keep driving that home, but that's so big, especially from the most important position in all of sports. I mean, you could say
I think
shortstop, you could say catcher, you could say point guard. It's quarterback. I want to use an expletive right now because the point is, at the end of the day, you need a quarterback who wants to be great.
Yep.
And there's a lot of guys with differing personalities. People had questions about Jameis Winston. I love his personality. It's authentic to him. He maybe didn't live up to the first overall pick level that people anticipated, but it's authentic to him. Mendoza's not coming in like a choir boy because he's just trying to put on a personality. This is him. He's not repping aloe yoga like Joe Burrow. He's repping LinkedIn because the guy is a bookworm. He's a student of the game. So to me, there is no hand-holding in the NFL. It just does not work that way. And now, with everything they're instituting to facilitate success early on, Peyton Manning was special. He had Archie Manning to guide him. That's why I love pedigree and people who have the mystique of what it takes to be an NFL quarterback. That DNA helps you be successful, but more so than the DNA of having a father who played, it's the fact that they understand the professionalism it takes to be great. And Mendoza's, I'm telling you, this is Christmas Day. I'm expecting Santa Claus to walk through the pods right now because if you're not pumped up in Raider Nation right now, then you have no clue what you're talking
And we had JT the Brick saying, you got to take the day off. This is a celebratory moment for Raiders fans. I'll give you the other reason that I think it's the biggest draft in Raiders history. The obvious one is, well, it's now, and they need to turn their franchise around. They've had success here in Vegas. Like, success means that they've got people to buy into the franchise. Mark Davis is going to be a billionaire. The franchise is worth $11 billion. They sold $550 million in PSLs. Like, they're printing money. But you know what's funny about Allegiant Stadium? It's still not a home environment. This is the guy who can turn this into a home environment, one, with who he is at quarterback and what a great kid he is, and two, winning. Because I got to tell you, I don't know about you guys, and I'm not a Raiders fan, but I get sick to my stomach walking into Allegiant almost every week and feeling like it's a freaking road game. F these other fans. That's it.
And you
win and shut them out. I've had enough. And the other thing is, for me personally, I want to cover a winning team. I'm tired of this 3 and 4 win thing. Start delivering on the tax money we gave to build Allegiant. I want a winning team.
And you know
the
what?
People here want a winning team. And we need a winning team.
100%. And Steve, what comes with having more of a home field environment at home? It's not having the face of the franchise be a defensive end. Although I love Max Crosby. I love him. I think the same amount of intangibles that I'm giving credit to Mendoza, he has those same intangibles in a different light, you know? But at the end of the day, even though he gives 110% on every snap, even though he's carried this franchise in the past 6 years, at the end of the day, a quarterback is the name of the game in the National Football League. And if your face of your franchise is not your quarterback, you know what that means? You're not winning Super Bowls.
We're sitting across from Mike Davis, Las Vegas's most attractive and trying to think of glowing terms, kind of wealthy, eligible bachelor. We're going to give him about 5 minutes during this break here to go talk to the bartenders at the Unknown Bar. They brought in the A crew, so I think when Mike turns around, he might not come back. But Mike's going to stick around for 5 more minutes because I do want to hear your mock draft. You are a draftnik. You love the draft. And then we'll also go through our happiest moments we've ever seen in a draft. It could be our team. It could be something else. A pick that we got right on our worst. So plenty to come here. We got 3 hours on the way. We will be on live when the number one pick goes down. We'll be throwing to the picks in the 5 o'clock hour. Come on down, party with us. Chaos is open. The Ghost Bar. You got to get tickets, but great parties here. I mean, this is the official Raiders headquarters on the biggest day in Raiders history.
Got something to say? Hit us up on the Bay Law text line, 702-364-1100. Brought to you by Bay Law Injury Attorneys. Winning is no accident.
I can stay for as long as you need. If you need me
Hey, babe, where are you going?
Fantastic indoor swap meet.
The swap meet? I love Fantastic. Can I come along?
Sure, if you
What?
bring your wallet.
What are we shopping for?
Everything. They've got everything, and it's a lot more fun than
What-
shopping online.
Oh,
Okay,
I
let's
had-
spend the afternoon.
I had to
It's
really
just
go to
over
bat
on
for
Decatur and Okie.
You know, Fantastic's open
No,
every
but,
Friday,
like, I
Saturday,
actually
and
had
Sunday,
to go to the
10 to
bathroom.
6. And like they
Wait,
say, it's
that's why you want me to
fantastic.
stay longer.
And like
I
they
wanna
say,
talk shit.
we've got it.
Because all my
There's a
because
difference
one of
you
my
can
best friends
feel
from
when you
high
step
school
into the
was on
showroom
school
at Finley
paper
Honda
with Zach
Henderson.
Rosenblatt.
Sure, our cars are beautiful,
plugged in
built to
with,
last, and our certified pre-owned inventory is one of the largest in the country. But the difference is our people. From the sales floor to the service department, we're focused on you. Because when you're the center of our attention, everybody wins. It may not be what you're used to, but we think it should be. Welcome to the difference at Finley Honda Henderson in the Valley Auto Mall.
Nothing I hate in the car business more than a bunch of damn liars. That's why I created
They should trade
GiveMeTheVin.com.
back.
Go to
They should trade
GiveMeTheVin,
back
put in your license plate
a
number,
few
we'll
spots,
buy
get
your
some more
car. We
capital,
do
and
what we
draft
say we're
talent.
going to do
That's what I
when we
would
say we're going to do it without a bunch of games. We come to you
Exactly
with a
what I
check
would do,
or
too.
pay off your payoff. Look at what people have had to say about GiveMeTheVin.com.
I
It's
know.
real.
I don't
It's
like
here.
that either.
We're the Amazon now of
That's why
car
I don't
buyers.
like that.
And
And
we
that's
want to
why
buy
I,
yours.
Sell us your
I'm
car.
worried about reading it, but I think they go read.
So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Garlic Parmesan bread has arrived at Port of Subs, and it's bringing serious flavor. Warm, buttery garlic and rich Parmesan baked into every
Potatoes
bite,
locking it
turning
down.
any
That's the
sub
best.
into something next level. It's bold, it's craveable, and it
But you're
won't
not
be
the
here
usual
long.
producer.
Order now at portofsubs.com.
Oh, okay.
Garlic Parmesan, big flavor, baked in.
Slice fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
Hey, it's Cofield. I'm teaming up with Nevada Brew Works to brew my own beer, and when it's finished, we're going to celebrate the beer release at the Nevada Brew Works Boca Park location. I was in there the other night, got the Western Barbecue Burger, the Lager, and the Hefeweizen. All were dynamite. Nevada Brew Works in Boca Park. Spring into cash for betting sports on the William Hill mobile sports app. With the William Hill Cash Rewards program, you can earn up to $500 in cash. Earn Spring Rewards points for mobile wagers made until May 31st, win or lose. And you can earn even more Spring Rewards points for teasers, parlays, and same-game parlays. It's Cofield. You can find the bet you want by hitting the Quick Picks tab. Find those bets 10-1 or less, all the way up to the Dream Hit at over 60-1. Sign up for the William Hill mobile sports app today and opt in to enroll in Spring Rewards. To see participating locations, visit williamhill.us.
Looking for heavy equipment but don't know where to buy? Purple Wave Auction has you covered. Always online and always no reserve. It's your destination for construction or ag equipment ready to work. We even sell semis, trailers, and fleet equipment for your operation. Best part, it's free to join. Head to purplewave.com. That's purplewave.com. Sign up for a free account and start bidding today. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
Power Shift by NV Energy is all about taking savings to the next level. Check it out. These products and services save energy and money. There are discounts and rebates on energy-efficient devices and free smart thermostats. Take savings to the next level at nvenergy.com/powershift. PowerShift by NV Energy. This is what we do.
Terribles Tuesday just got bigger! Download the free Terribles Plus Rewards app today and enjoy a new expanded menu of 40 items to choose from every Tuesday for free! You heard that right! Absolutely free! So no matter which one of you walks in, you can guarantee that you'll walk out with exactly what you're craving.
Delicious.
Terribles Tuesday, exclusively on the Terribles Plus Rewards app. Your daily routine rewarded deliberately different.
It's Free Stuff Saturday at Godden Ford. Swing by this weekend for free tacos, free gift cards, free gas cards, and free tickets to amazing shows. Take a test drive and score a free $20 gift card. Buy a new ride and get a $3,000 gas card. Plus, register to win tickets to see the Foo Fighters. Food trucks, music, and lots of free stuff. That's this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Godden Ford off the 215 in Rainbow.
Get ready, Vegas. It's the Sick New World Sideshow. Flatwood. Tickets are on sale now. For more info, go to cosmopolitanlasvegas.com and sicknewworldfest.com.
April 28th is School Bus Driver Appreciation Day, and the Richard Harris Law Firm wants to thank.
10 seconds.
Sure, our kids get to school safely every day. To show their appreciation, the Richard Harris Law Firm will be providing pink box coffee and donuts to the drivers at the Russell Bus Yard in Henderson.
Now back to Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
Palms is the site. It is getting packed here. What a great place to hang out for the draft. We've got I'll say it, Raiders #1 pick, Jersey Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza. Fernando Mania is going down right now. We've also got tickets to a Raiders game that you can register for. And, yeah, I hope it comes across that I really do appreciate everyone who comes on the show. That's why sometimes I'm real clunky saying goodbye. I want to cry at the end of every spot. I'm like, thank you so much for contributing to the show. Mike Davis, I forgot, and Mike tells us all the time when we have him on. Mike, of course, from Fox 5. Mike really is a radio junkie. That's where Mike started. He's on TV now. He's a big deal. But you freaking love radio. And I was like, yeah, we're going to wrap it up in about 5 minutes. You're like, no, I can stay. I can do an hour or more. I'm like, okay.
I grew up in South Jersey and Philly, so Angelo Cataldi was my hero. That's all I wanted to be growing up, was a sports talk radio guy. I actually think I'm much better on radio than I am on TV. But, yeah, that's my passion. I worked for Howard Stern for a little bit, so I love joining you on here.
What's the best and worst draft day you ever had? And it can be Eagles related or something else. You got to pick right or something. I don't know.
I mean, you know what's so funny? I'm born in 92, so I don't really remember. In Philly, the Ricky Williams, Donovan McNabb draft day was insane. That was like a massive deal because everybody wanted Ricky Williams, and the fact that they took McNabb it caused chaos.
It was wild because I think it was in the whatever they used to call it, the Felt Forum or the Paramount at MSG. And I remember I'm like, there are hundreds of Eagles fans just raining down boos on what's supposed to be the happiest moment in Donovan McNabb's life.
It really was. It really set the course for a lot of, for a weird relationship between Eagles fans and McNabb for years. But for me, I always thought he was very underrated. Of course, it was more so Andy Reid, and Eagles fans never appreciated what we had in Andy Reid all those years. So I think he made McNabb tremendous. I actually wish we got to see more of Michael Vick with McNabb with Andy Reid, I should say, because when Vick was with, those were crazy times. So, what about you from a draft day history standpoint?
It's Cofield knows this too. The Jets draft history is tortured.
There's so many moments to pick from.
But here's the problem.
By the way, for Raiders fans, I got to point out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Raiders fans have had. The other day I did a top 5 worst picks of all time in the first round for the Raiders, and there were so many to pick from. I did that with South Point and Alex White. And so, Raiders fans listening know what it feels like to be a Jets fan or a Browns fan or even sometimes a disaster Eagles fan. And I appreciate that this is a celebration today. There are thousands of fans waiting in line here. These people show up no matter what. But go ahead, Jets misery.
So, I wasn't alive or I wasn't fully aware of Kyle Brady over Warren Sapp, and I wasn't alive for Johnny Lamb Jones and all that nonsense. The draft I was the happiest at, and of course it ended up not panning out for the Jets, but it panned out for someone else, was when they picked Sam Darnold at number 3.
Me too. I was pleased because that was the guy I wanted.
Yep.
I'm like, we as a Jets fan, we finally did it. We got the guy I wanted.
But isn't that a great learning lesson? We saw Sam Darnold win a Super Bowl this past season.
Yeah.
Look what happens when you take the right guy, but you don't have the right situation. It's a tremendous learning experience. Anybody who's a Jets fan, that's a perfect example as a teaching lesson to show you why today is so special and so critical. Because if it doesn't work out with Mendoza and getting Linderbaum and hopefully trading up and getting another solid offensive lineman, everything that they have in this situation constructed, that's the difference here. And that's a big thing. I had to pull up. Here's little Mike Davis.
There we go. Look at that. Donovan looking. Donovan felt at that point.
I stalked him at his house as a 7-year-old for Halloween. He's holding up the
That's
picture for
amazing.
everybody at home.
So that
It's
was a
Halloween
special day for you.
And not only that, Mike, you are wearing like the best Sixer jersey in the history of the
AI,
franchise.
man. AI. But you know what was my favorite draft, actually, of all time? Because every year I pick a player that I am in love with, and I want the Eagles to draft. Now this year, because I'm, more so covering Raiders, it's Mendoza for me. But it was when they drafted Cooper DeJean, Howie Roseman.
Yeah.
I was so in love with Cooper DeJean. I said, this guy is going to be a stud. I haven't seen anybody like this since Jason Sehorn. Okay? And this guy is a souped-up Jason Sehorn. And when they took him in the second round, I was flipped. I was so excited.
You know what's great about the draft is like hope springs eternal. And for crappy teams, this is the most exciting part of the year. But I don't think Jeff is here yet. My hope has been so extinguished as a Jets fan. I stood up during the break, and Mike was like, "Who do you want him to take?" And I was like, "I don't know." I'm like, take who they take. I'm not going to get mad anymore. So your worst moment was?
The worst moment? Oh boy. Well, the Dwayne Robertson pick worked out great, but that was.
But can you remember like when they made a number one pick, and you were like, "Damn it! Why did they do that?"
Darren Lee one was pretty bad. Obviously, that's worked out even worse than I think anyone could have imagined.
So mine were. He mentioned it,
but I wasn't around when the Jets. I wasn't like the Roger Vick pick. I wasn't around for that one either. So
Mike, I was covering a track and field meet at a local paper in New Jersey. I think at Highland Park High School, and I remember where I was. And I'm doing agate, which is the worst thing ever for high school track. And I ran out to the car and I listened. And as I get in the car, because I think I might have had a transistor, right? Old reference. And like Warren Sapp was tumbling. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
We're going to get Warren Sapp. Now, as it turns out, Warren Sapp's kind of a weirdo, but he was a great player, right?
The Eagles passed on him too.
When they took Kyle Brady, they almost took Tom Brady. When they took Kyle Brady, I just sat in the car. I don't think I cried.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't believe they did this. And then full circle moment, I had Kyle Brady on the show like 8 years ago, and I kind of like apologized to him. He's such a nice guy. And I'm like, I hated you so much, Kyle, because you should have been Warren Sapp.
Right.
And I'll give you the more recent one that finally extinguished all of my hope. I was at, I think I was across town at Sunset Station at a draft party, and Brian Blessing, rest in peace, Brian was hosting the party, and it just came out of nowhere. And it wasn't a first-round pick. It was a second-round pick. And
I know where you're going.
The Jets took Christian Hackenberg. And it took me less than a minute to storm out of the building and miss the rest of the draft. I was so peeved because, one, I hate Penn State. I'm sorry. I know you're a Phillies out there.
I'm not a Penn State guy.
I hate Penn State. And I didn't like Christian Hackenberg
He wasn't
at all.
even that good at Penn State.
That's the thing. What are you doing?
Like, if you're not good at Penn State, you're not going to be good. It's not like LeVar Arrington, coming out.
Elizabeth, I can't. This is why I can't do this as a Jets fan. I'm not going to, like tonight, I'm not going to be like Bailey Reese.
Right.
Now, they probably will screw it up.
They will definitely
and take
screw
Sonny
it up.
Styles, who I don't want.
Oh, that would be
and
better
then
than Reese.
And then I'm going to start doing the Chris Farley trying to dislodge the sausage.
I mean, bringing this back local, think about the Raiders and how many, in recent memory, just how many times they've been heartbroken. Alex Leatherwood, okay?
Oh,
bust.
wow. Yeah.
Henry Ruggs. We
And
all
then-
know that. Clelin Ferrell. I mean,
Mike, to
there's
have to
so
sit there,
many.
it's salt in the wound as well, just to have to sit there. And most draft analysts are so nice about every pick, but all of those guys you just mentioned, the panelists on ESPN and NFL Network are like, this guy's supposed to go 20 spots later. Why are they taking Alex Leatherwood?
It makes no sense. So there were so many. I mean, that one year where they took Josh Jacobs at the end of the first round, but they had 2 picks. I mean, there was a plethora of opportunity and selections, and they just went in the wrong direction so many ways. That's why, to me, I think what Steve said, what I think is a very intellectual take, and I 100% agree with, is in the top 10, in the top 15, you're not trying to select somebody who doesn't have a home. And what I mean by that is a Sonny Styles who starts his career in the secondary and then plays 2 years at linebacker. That's tremendous that he has that flexibility. But at the end of the day, I want a sure thing. I want a guy who's a stud. You know his home. You know what he's delivering at the next level and what that's going to translate like. I feel like a Sonny Styles could easily turn into Isaiah Simmons. And then what do you have? So to me, people
Greg
start
Patterson.
people start overthinking things at this juncture. If I were the Jets, what I would do is Aaron Glenn. I'm not in love with him as a head coach, frankly, but last season he played secondary. The Jets did not have a single interception all season long. All season long. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you threw out my grandmother on the D line and you get a tipped pass, there might be a chance that a 93-year-old Jewish woman could snag an INT. And they had 0 interceptions all season long. So what does that mean? To me, that is an indictment on Aaron Glenn as a head coach, as a former secondary maven. And what I would do is 1,000%, you need another coach on the field. Trade back, scoop up some picks, and take Caleb Downs. He's the most solid secondary player in this draft. I've heard things that Howie Roseman might have even tried to sneak up and get him. That's a guy you want. He might not have the physical traits of a Kyle Hamilton, but I think he's in that vein of a guy he's your center fielder who can do a lot of damage between the ears with tangible traits. That's what I would do if I were the Jets.
Mike Davis, Jeff Parles, Cofield down here at Palms at the Unknown Bar. That's the center bar. Come on down. We got prizes we're giving away. 2 big parties are happening here with the Raiders. We'll come back. We'll quickly go through Mike's top 10 mock, and then we're about 15 minutes away from Xavier Pope, because guess what? On draft day, we actually have to talk about this dopey Mike Vrabel, Rossini thing on draft day. How dare you two do this to us?
Oh, no.
Sunday Night Baseball.
Oh, no. If I'm here for that, I might lose my job.
Time showdown in KC.
And the Royals. I think Owane, then down.
With Junior leads the Kansas City Royals.
I also, I have,
Los Angeles
to me, I think it's Owane down, then goes a
Unbelievable. The Angels at the Royals on Sunday Night Baseball. Begins at 6:30 Eastern.
I just love draft stuff. The worst day for me was when
ESPN
Joe Banner, I think I said this on
Hi, sports fans. It's the
when
Herd.
They
We're here to
drafted
talk about
Danny
game
Watkins,
changers.
like a
Just like in
26-year-old
sports, business has
fireman.
all its
He was
MVPs,
26
and
and
Ford
he
Country
was
in
working
the
in a
Valley Auto
firehouse like
Mall
the
is
week
leading the pack.
before.
At Ford
And
Country,
that's
you'll
who
get
they went
VIP
with.
experience with the best
So,
service
to
in
me,
town
that was
and
just not
exceptional
good.
savings on your favorite Fords like the F-150, Explorer, and the Bronco. Visit Ford Country at the Valley Auto Mall
actually,
or online at
misspoke. I almost had a conniption
FordCountryHenderson.com.
when they
Ford
took
Country,
Jalen
the
Ritter
difference is
over
real.
Justin
Boston
Jefferson.
is back for Cinco
That
de Mayo
was the
weekend.
one. That's what
On
I should
Saturday,
have
May 2nd, live from T-Mobile Arena.
That was when I
Undefeated
almost had a
world champion
conniption.
David Benavidez takes on unified cruiserweight king Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez in a highly anticipated battle. Plus, a world championship co-main event between 2 of Mexico's toughest contenders. Super middleweight world champion Armando Resendiz and all-action former world champ Jaime Munguia. Don't miss a star-studded night of boxing. Saturday, May 2nd, live from T-Mobile Arena. Get your tickets now at AXS.com.
I'm attorney Paul Powell. If you've been injured in an accident, call me right now, 728-5500. The call is free and will come to you. I promise to never take more money than you, and I put it in writing.
Paul Powell. More lawyer, less fee.
We're hiring at A1 Garage Doors. No experience? No problem. We provide full training, a brand new van, top-of-the-line tools, a gas card, and steady jobs with weekly pay. This isn't just a job. It's a career with real growth, great pay, and job security. Our team members go from training to 6 figures, and we're ready to help you do the same. Don't wait. Apply now at a1garage.com/careers.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Modelo is an official cerveza of the Las Vegas Raiders and the JT the Brick Show.
I'm telling you,
Modelo Especial is a
in that Roseman
lager,
Schneider,
delivering a
less
crisp,
speed
refreshing
kind of
taste,
vicinity.
brewed with
I
fighting
mean,
spirit since 1925. Now back to Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
Palms is the site. Raiders Central. I was just going to text my better half, my significant other, who's a Chargers fan. I'm like, don't come down here. I'm like, you'll get in a fist fight as soon as you walk in the door. This is the Raiders hub, the Palms. So come on down. We got prizes. We got Mike Davis. We got Parles. Last couple of minutes, Mike, you jotted down a final mock draft. So at one, obviously, Mendoza. You have the Jets taking who?
I have the Jets taking Arvell Reese.
Okay.
This is not what I would do. This is what I think is going to
You wanna
happen
be
at
accurate.
a top 10 with no trades, okay? I have Mendoza 1, Jets 2. There's a lot of talk between Bailey and Reese. I have them taking Arvell Reese at 2. Then at 3, a lot of people are saying the Cardinals, right? They might take Jeremiah Love. I don't have that. I have them snagging David Bailey after that. And then the Titans scoop up the running back from Notre Dame, Jeremiah Love, help out last year's first overall pick, Cam Ward, with that running game, get that tandem going. Then at 5, John Harbaugh. This guy, we all know it's not Joe Shane that's going to be making these selections. It's Harbaugh. Harbaugh is going to want a can't-miss guy. Now that you have 2 picks in the top 10, the worst thing that could happen is you select Jordan Tyson and the dude doesn't get on the field, okay? What you need to do is not miss here. So they're going to take Caleb Downs, I feel, at 5. Then 6, the Browns are on the clock. We all know Andrew Berry, the GM there, made the worst deal in NFL history, giving a guaranteed, can I say fully guaranteed contract to a guy who allegedly did a lot of bad stuff off the field, and Deshaun Watson. They're a mess. They have Shedeur Sanders as their quarterback. They need everything. So they're going to take Carnell Tate, wide receiver from Ohio State. They're a wide receiver factory at this point. He's the safest guy, although I don't love the separation between him and the other wide receivers. Then 7 is where Sonny Styles goes. Linebacker, Ohio State, played secondary for a little bit. Commanders take him at 7. 8, the Saints. Tyler Shuck had a lot of good stuff going on in his rookie season, right? Kellen Moore doing a good job at head coach. Give them some more weapons, right? They have Chris Olave. Why not you give them another wide receiver? Jordan Tyson goes there. And then number 9, when do we ever see the Kansas City Chiefs drafting this early? In the top 10, number 9, the Chiefs. They can go a lot of directions. They don't have any corners anymore. They lost Watson. They lost McDuffie. Okay? They could go O-line. They could go edge. I think they take Reuben Bain, solidify a legit edge rusher who, okay, he's got short arms. Who cares? The dude can play football. If you watch tape, you know this guy's a wrecker. And then at 10, a little early, but once again, John Harbaugh, he gets a classic Harbaugh type of player in Vega Oanes. No Christian Hackenberg from Penn State, this guy. This dude is a stud. He's a wrecker at that guard position. So the Giants, they're going to win this draft, and they're going to go Downs and Oane. That's my top 10.
Last 30 seconds here. What are you going to do tonight? You sticking around here? You're going elsewhere? What are you going to do?
You know what? The first thing I got to do is I got to go to the restroom and wipe this stuff off my forehead because, and I'm from Jersey. So do you say forehead too or forehead?
Probably forehead.
Yeah, I say forehead.
Yeah,
So
forehead.
people keep looking at me and not for the right reasons. It says, I love Doza. I heart Doza.
What are you doing on the 2 o'clock show tomorrow?
2 o'clock show. We're going to be doing more of this kind of stuff, talking draft, talking what happened second round, third round. But tonight's just a great day for Raider Nation, for the Silver and Black. You should just be ecstatic with everything. This is the best kind of draft because you know what's going to happen. You have the top pick, and the future of your franchise is in impeccable hands. And all I got to say is, Fernando, accept my invite request on LinkedIn.
Well, we did a lot of going back in the Wayback Machine. On the way back, we're going to talk to Xavier Pope, and I'm going to go back to March 17th of 2020. Man, I was so scared. It was COVID was upon us, and yet Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini apparently were making out at a bar. Go figure.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Fernando Mendoza is here on the program. How you doing, Fernando? Are you nervous? Are you nervous-sighted? That's a word my wife and I use with our kids, nervous, excited.
I don't know. Is that word in Webster's dictionary? I'm not sure, but I want to start using that. I'm ready for the opportunity. I'm nervous-sighted. Can't wait to get started.
I feel like you just used it in the sentence. You took it for a spin. Please take it.
The Rich Eisen Show from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus.
If it's for the truck, give us a call. We've got it.
For the Truck is your premier truck shop. Our suspension experts will take your ride to the next level.
Steps, wheels, bumpers, suspensions, tires, covers, accessories, liners, lifts installed. For the Truck has it all.
Specializing in precision suspension tuning for sports cars, SUVs, and of course trucks. From high-end alignments to full suspension upgrades, we have everything you need.
If it's for the truck, give us a call. We've got it. On 702-840-4400. Call Panda Law. 702-818-3888.
Are you one of the many who carry the weight of debt on your shoulders? It's more common than you think.
At Panda, we understand that debt affects people from all walks of life.
From teachers to nurses, firefighters to hospitality workers, even executives and business owners.
We've helped thousands of people just like you break free from the shackles of debt.
Call Panda Law. 702-818-3888.
If you've got more than $10,000 in personal or business debt, it's time to get Panda. Our dedicated team is here to guide you towards a brighter, debt-free future.
Don't let debt define your life. Call Panda Law today at 702-818-3888 and let us help you take control of your financial well-being.
We'll work to find the best solution for you. If you've got debt, it's time to get Panda.
Call Panda Law. 702-818-3888.
When your celebration of life is prepaid in advance, it becomes a gift from you to your family later. Let us help you plan every detail with professionalism and compassion. We're Palm Mortuaries and Cemeteries. Find us at dignitymemorial.com.
Good morning.
Vegas is built on service.
Studio lights on, please.
3 shifts a day.
All right, let's do this.
As your morning begins,
It's showtime.
We have a lot to talk about live on the program for the next 3 hours.
to do our part, News 3 Today delivers Las Vegas stories that shape your community.
Just in some breaking news on the economics front.
So, whether it's late breaking news, bumper to bumper,
Avoid using flamingo.
or clearing skies,
No showers anticipated.
it's News 3 Today.
Right now at Centennial Subaru, lease a 2026 Subaru Outback for as low as $365 a month, or get financing as low as 3.9% APR. Don't miss these limited time offers on one of the most trusted SUVs on the road. March to Centennial Subaru at US 95 and Ann Road, where your savings await. Centennial Subaru, a short drive from everywhere in the valley. OAC offer expires 4/30/26. See store for details.
Introducing Home Care Plus, a new subscription service from Lowe's that helps make life easier by giving members a hand with home maintenance. Let Lowe's tackle the tasks you keep meaning to do, like electric dryer vent cleaning, replacing hard-to-reach light bulbs, and more. Subscribe to Home Care Plus for just $99 a year and consider your to-do list done. Members get more at Lowe's. Available in select zip codes only. Cancel anytime. Non-refundable fee. Product purchase required. Terms and service restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Zips App Auto has expanded into one of the largest independent auto repair shops in the valley. With 23 bays, over 12,000 square feet, Zips App is your one-stop shop, offering smog tests, oil changes, detailing, body work, and engine and transmission rebuilding. Plus, Zips App provides free towing and diagnostics with qualifying repairs. No appointment necessary. Zips App Auto on Cheyenne and North Durango Drive, and online at zipsappauto.com.
Making money isn't all that hard, but keeping it is tough. It's why I like having a One Nevada One checking rewards account. All I had to do was set up direct deposit with my job, and boom, I get paid 2 days early, just in time for the weekend. And when I do have to spend, I just make sure it's with my One Nevada debit card, and I get cash back. So get your money sooner and keep more of it with a One Nevada One checking rewards account.
Visit onenevada.org to learn more and open a One checking rewards account.
Our one focus is you.
Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, Las Vegas, are you tired of plumbing prices that break the bank? At 365 Plumbing, we're bringing fair right now. For a limited time, take advantage of our water heater flush special for only $26. Visit us at 365plumbingnv.com. 365 Plumbing is where the water flows. 365 Plumbing goes.
Modelo is an official cerveza of the Las Vegas Raiders and the JT the Brick Show. Modelo Especial is a rich, full-flavored Pilsner-style lager, delivering a crisp, refreshing taste, brewed with fighting spirit since 1925.
An accident isn't just an accident. It's lost time, lost wages, and a fight you didn't choose. That's where we come in. At DeCastro Law, we deliver serious firepower for serious injuries. We fight to make things right. When you're injured, the choice is clear. We're the DeCastro brothers, and we have your back. Together, we win.
BrothersWin.com.
At DeCastro Law,
We have Xavier.
.com.
This sports update is brought to you by the William Hill Nevada Mobile Sports
Thank you.
Account, where you can earn up to a $250 bonus bet after placing your first wager. Sign up today and you'll never miss another bet. Go to williamhill.us for more info.
10 seconds.
Aviators lost to the Salt Lake Bees 14-3, but they'll go at it again tonight. First pitch set for 7:05, and it is $2 beer night out at the Las Vegas ballpark.
Now back to Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
I got to tell you, over the last 5 days, we've had a pairing of like the wildest fans you're going to find, Jeff Parles, anywhere in the country, and that is WWE fans backed up by Raiders fans. It's like a costume party. We mentioned the other day the wrestling fans in town, like thousands of them carrying around championship belts. We looked them up. The belts are like $300, and then almost every Raiders fan either has a jersey on or then goes beyond that. They've got makeup, hats, freaking spike pads, face paint. It's insane. Let's go out to Chicago. Xavier Pope is up on this Thursday as he joins us every Thursday with Jeff and Cofield. EP, what's going on, buddy?
Pretty good. I should be putting on a championship belt now, huh, Steve?
I know, right? Well, I don't think the three of us are championship belt types. One, I'm cheap. Two, I'm not going to carry the friggin' belt around. You're cut from a different cloth. I know you're a sports fan, but you're a Renaissance man. And I saw an event I think you have going on tomorrow, but I feel like maybe I wouldn't be welcome there. It says Chicago. If you're a woman, social or fitness influencer, and into hot yoga or Pilates, I'd like to invite you and a guest. Oh, okay, maybe a guy can come along to hot yoga. What's going on? Prosecco and kombucha. What's going on here?
Yeah. I'm the head of business development for Ritual Hot Yoga. We have 4 locations in Chicago, another in Milwaukee, another new location just opened out in Salt Lake, Utah. And so we do these Funky Friday events where we, after every yoga class, we have people socialize and have kombucha and Prosecco. We kind of mix it together as our signature cocktail. And, we partner with women influencers because that is that demographic that likes to go to yoga and Pilates. And so they bring a lot of attention to our studio, and we've done other partnerships in the past. So that's just a call for that. And that's been a part of what we're doing here over at Ritual Hot Yoga. So it's great. It's going to be a lot of times. You definitely be welcome. You be the guest, as it were.
Thanks, man.
And it's a mixed crowd, but it's a good time.
I feel like if he wasn't having so many troubles right now, that Mike Vrabel would be a guy who'd like to go to your hot yoga class.
Yeah, with one Vrabel there. Really? He's happy to deal with. No, I mean, he's already taking day 3 of the draft off to be able to get some county counseling. Now, sports have shown that New York Post released some photos that he and Diane Rapini were together kissing in 2020, and that's something that they, after some photos surfaced with them in Arizona, they vigorously denied. They said it was the media was going after them, and now it turns out there was much more than this than they even tried to claim. This is 6 years, Steve. That's a full-on out love affair. And so it now opens up the door for many more other questions than just a simple affair.
Do you think he was dumb enough when he did have his tough conversation with his family to try to sell them on, this was an isolated incident, and then he finds out that the Post has pictures going back 6 years, and he's like, oh, my God. Because this seems like this is all window dressing and performative, that he's gonna miss Saturday because it's urgent now that he goes to get treatment. I mean, come on, bro.
Oh, my God, Steve. I hadn't thought about that. And the photos come out. Is he scrambling then to change what the narrative is, change his plans, and that's when he schedules to take the day off? Or is it something that he was trying to prep his family for all along? If he lied about what happened in the initial encounter and then lied about it again, Man, this spells some bigger issues more than just what happened with the season.
And now ESPN is in the crosshairs because, people are looking to get ESPN all the time because now you can call into question the kind of reporting and objectivity she was doing going all the way back to 2020 when she was working around the Titans, then graduated to a national level. And I wonder, there's nothing ESPN can do about it now, but I wonder if they even have a public discussion about it or these are very interesting issues because as I said the other day on the air, I was like, listen, the NFL's telling us basically, mind no matter to our coaches effing on the side. That's what we do, right? Our owners are often pigs. That's what we do. We're not going to discipline them. But there is something to tampering and using the media in a certain way and the flow of information, is there not?
Yeah, I think it's the difference between, say Robert Kraft and some of the other issues that happened with him off the field. And then, Vrabel and Rossini and, they were and how going back to when she was with ESPN when Vrabel was the head coach of the Titans, and there were issues in terms of some of the reporting there, and then the main name that was coming up in terms of A.J. Brown being unsatisfied with his time in Philly, and then him getting traded to the Patriots, and her talking about an unnamed source. So the unnamed source is that Mike Vrabel talking to A.J. Brown when he shouldn't be talking to A.J. Brown and potentially influencing a trade. If we don't know the extent of that, but guess what? There are journalists out there that want to know why. And this is right at the heels, right on the footsteps of the NFL draft. You don't want your team issue to be, hey, we want to fix what's getting on the field. We want to put our team in a position to get back to the Super Bowl. You don't want them answering questions about tampering during the NFL draft.
EP, just going back to the photo that was released today by the New York Post, the most underrated factor of the whole thing, the picture was taken on the same day that Rudy Gobert tested positive for COVID, and the entire world shut down less than 48 hours later.
Yeah, I think that you have to look at it in terms of what was going on at the time. There were some things that were kind of closing down at that, but it was pretty quickly. So I really I can't really say, hey, well, they were doing this in spite of what was going on. It would be different to say 6 months later or maybe a couple months later, but this was right there the same day. It was a really unique time in the country, but that's a really good footnote. But mostly it's about the time. It's about a long stretch of time they've been involved. And when was the beginning of this involvement? And so I think that's pretty much the bigger question is the amount of time that you've spent in that space and having that opportunity to be able to deal with him on that level. I think that's a big story there.
Xavier Pope is up on Cofield and Company, eve of the draft. We're here at the Palms Casino Resort. Amongst all the Raiders fans, 2 gigantic parties, probably 5,000-6,000 Raiders fans are going to be here. It's a wild scene as they get ready to take Fernando Mendoza. I do want to mention Mendoza, and I think it's a good thing to mention with him. And listen, no one's perfect. I don't know if he's perfect, but it is very interesting that the crazy organization like the Raiders are getting a guy who seems to be a choir boy, and maybe someone in the NFL really needs to embrace right now with all the troubles off the field they're dealing with.
Yeah, I think that there's so many different guys though in the league. You have so many people that you can look at in terms of the faces of the league. It depends on whether that person is definitely a quarterback, but they could be a running back. They could be a defensive player. I think that, he seems to quote unquote be a choir boy. Some of his politics people are looking into that as well. But it remains to be seen because that team still has to be able to win football games. He seems like a stud, seems like he should be selected number one. But the Raiders still have to make sound decisions up and down the roster and to compete in that division, which they having pretty much an open window to get inside and start to compete, and for people to take that thing seriously.
Can you believe what was going on last night with Devin Booker and SGA and the way that game was officiated? Or game 2, Suns and Thunder?
We talk about this a lot, Steve. A lot of fans are talking about this. And I discussed it a couple weeks ago when I said that Oklahoma City Thunder in terms of free throw attempts, they are in the bottom half of the league. It's just skewed by the amount of times that SGA gets to the line. But in the game, there's a spin move and jump that he and Booker both did back-to-back plays, and one was called for an offensive foul, one was a foul called against the defender. And I think it looks the same to me. And I think that fans, you don't want to have them looking at Oklahoma City as a team that foul hunts. There was also another play where another player baited a foul as well. So I think that the way it happens in the game, fans are not wanting to see, hey, we want a bunch of pick and rolls, 3-point shots, and guys foul baiting. That's what fans are saying about the game. They should be talking about other scenarios other than that.
Xavier Pope is up with us. Xavier Pope is with Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas. Let's talk about the positive and then maybe a negative about LeBron. First, the positive. If you don't appreciate LeBron at this point and what he's doing, you're a hater. So he's the best long-lasting, stamina athlete we've ever seen. To be doing what he's doing at 41, carrying the Lakers, putting them near triple doubles. That reverse dunk was ridiculous. I hope everyone out there, because I sat there for a couple minutes the other night. And I'm like, man, I really appreciate who this guy has been. And if I didn't realize already, I thought he was great, but I'm like, man, this just pushes him over the top. This is unreal.
Yeah, no scandals. Solid man who's spoken on social issues. LeBron James, and he's had the spotlight on him since he's a young person. He has been who he has been since the very beginning. I think that there's something to be said about his consistency and who he has been. We saw Cal Ripken. He played a lot of games. He wasn't bad that entire time, And so LeBron James has been great the entire time. And the reverse dunk. People complain about, well, the Lakers won because Kevin Durant wasn't there game one. Well, he came out there and he's getting dusted by LeBron James on the court.
He was. Okay, now you said no scandal. We might be in the middle of a scandal. LeBron simply said that Memphis needs to kind of step it up, that it's not a great place to travel to. And then a couple of weeks ago, you and I talked about the notion that LeBron is anti-black because he's anti-Memphis. And now Adam Silver seems to be listening to LeBron. He's like, hey, you know what? Nashville down the road, I kind of like that. We might have to have the Grizz play some games in Nashville. I mean, this could be the end of the road for Memphis in a couple of years.
I don't know whether – Adam Silver said that the owner seems pretty committed to Memphis. So he did reassure that Nashville wasn't going to be the destination. But he did encourage for the franchise to start playing some games in Nashville to be able to expand their base beyond Memphis. You're a commissioner. Your job is to help the owners to make more money. So if they expand their franchise footprint, play some games in Nashville, they did some training camp games there, but they've never actually played a game there. That's going to potentially improve the value of that franchise, which is a little lower in terms of franchise value in the National Basketball Association. So I don't think it's that different than any other time that a commissioner will be pumping up a potential franchise, but it does put the spotlight on LeBron James talking about the city. But he wasn't the only guy that criticized Memphis in terms of accommodation for players. It's unfair. 1 minute.
Last one, about 30 seconds. I'll tell you one guy who's probably rooting for the team to go from Memphis to Nashville is Tyrese Halliburton. You kind of had his back. I guess Halliburton was talking about who he's dated over the years.
Yeah, he just talked about the fact people complain about him dating white women and getting out the video showing him getting out of a car with them. And I said he could date who he wants. He said he grew up around certain groups, and that's why he dated the way he dated. I said, well, you have any different experiences traveling around the world as an NBA player, you can make a decision more than just how you grew up. Expand your horizons. But he date who he wants.
Xavier, great spot. We appreciate it. Go Bears. Hopefully they get a good player and keep the good times rolling before they move out of Chicago. Sorry, brother. Love you, buddy. We'll talk to you.
Have a good time at the draft. Love you, man.
There he is. Xavier Pope. Yeah. Illinois is starting to bend over backwards to really cater to the Bears, but I think they're going to force their hand. You want tax breaks, then you have to move to Arlington Heights. So we'll see if the Bears want to go for that.
The NHL playoffs are popping, and we have Sports USA's coverage of select games of the playoffs on 12:30 The Game.
Brought to you by Paul Patta Law. It's not about the injury, it's about the recovery.
Yo, it's Cofield. Join me for Free Stuff Saturday at Gauden Ford. Take a test drive and score a free $20 gift card. Buy a new ride and grab a $3,000 gas card, plus Foo Fighter tickets. It's Free Stuff Saturday at Gauden Ford off 215 and Rainbow. Sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada Mobile Sports account, and you can earn up to a $250 bonus bet after placing your first wager. It's Cofield. The William Hill Nevada Mobile Sports app makes it easy for you to bet on the go from any iPhone, iPad, or Android device anywhere in the state of Nevada. Sign up today and you'll never miss another bet. With the largest wagering menu, the William Hill Mobile Sports app features same-game parlays, early cash out, and live in-play wagering on all major sports. Click on Quick Parlays for fresh bets daily. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us.
We're chatting with us. Always safety first. 811 Megaphone Man.
Call 811 before you dig.
You never stray from your mission of letting homeowners, landscapers, and excavators know you should always call 811 before you dig.
Call 811.
Call for both small and big jobs. And 2 working days in advance?
811.
Any parting words? And I'm guessing they will be.
Call 811 before you dig.
Brought to you by Southwest Gas.
811.
Mrs.
10 seconds.
Network.com for everything ESPN Las Vegas. 100 AM. 100 FM. KWWN Las Vegas. It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
All right, high energy. Let's go. 4 o'clock hour. James back in the Finley Toyota Studios. Parles, Cofield, Big Fours coming up. Palms at the Unknown Bar, Palms Casino Resort. The crowd is building for the Raiders draft parties. One at the pool. Black holes upstairs at Ghost Bar. If you're coming down, you want to park on the west side of the property in the bigger garage. The east side garage is pretty jam-packed, and it is loud here. There's energy. We've got cool prizes like a #1 pick jersey for the Raiders, Raiders tickets. We haven't been to the Palms in a while. I like bouncing around town to new and old places because I see listeners who haven't seen in a while. And listener Gabe who just walked up. Gabe goes back to the Sports Pig days back on Fox 920. That would be circa 2006, 7, maybe a little after that. I think he took part in our fantasy football drafts because we used to do a listener fantasy football draft. And he just jogged my memory because I said, hey, good seeing you. We see each other every 5 years now. He's like, yeah, I think the last time we saw each other was outside of T-Mobile. But I think that may have been for the Stanley Cup celebration because JVT and I went down there and we're just hugging people randomly. And then we did see a couple listeners just because we wanted photo ops. I was happy the Knights won, but I wasn't like, I had some pictures where I looked like I was crying. I was like, oh, my God. Raiders fans are going crazy here. And believe me, Raiders want to get this pick right. The fans want to get this pick right with Mendoza. They want him to turn out because what do we say all the time about every pro franchise in town? With every move they make, what would Bill Foley do? Everyone wants a franchise like that. And it may be cutthroat and it may be F those emotions, but consistently they win and they make moves and they don't worry about what the fans think. And the Raiders are still getting there, which again brings up that rumor we saw being pushed again the last couple of days. And I know certain Raiders fans, their heads are exploding over this, but because so many teams have multiple picks in the first round, Jeff, there is still a possibility someone may get a little froggy and make that deal for Max Crosby.
Well, Jerry Jones is going to be the one if it's going to happen, right?
They have 12 and 20?
Yes, they have Green Bay's, 20. 20 or 21. But that would be the scenario, right? That would be it, is if Jerry is like, you know what? I think I'm just an elite pass rusher away from my team being a legitimate competitor in the NFC, and I don't think they are, but Jerry could very easily convince himself of that.
Going for broke. He's old. He told George Pickens, this is it. This is your year. Play, and you can do whatever you want, brother.
By the way, do we ever figure out why President Clinton was there?
I don't know.
Have we ever figured that out?
It's funny. I saw a link for the video or a tease, and it was like Clinton falls down, and then I saw Jerry Jones looking like he was falling down.
Jerry Jones was very close to just eating it completely.
Who fell?
No, it was Jerry.
Oh, he did.
Jerry,
because Clinton was off to the side, and maybe I misread it.
Jerry caught himself. He didn't fall, but he was very close to.
Who's older? Jerry?
I think Jerry's old. Is Clinton?
I think he's 80 plus.
I don't think Clinton's 80 yet.
Boy, his voice is taking a beating over the years.
Well,
sounds
multiple heart
95.
surgeries will do that to you.
Just don't fall down.
Yeah,
you don't want to fall down.
Not at 80. Not at 81. No.
Not at all. Big Four time.
Battleborn Injury Lawyers presents the Big Four at 4. Number 4.
Jerry Jones, 83. Bill Clinton, 79.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was way off.
Yeah.
Clinton's much younger. Not even close to 80. One of the stories later in the draft, and you know that NFL Network and ESPN will be all over this because quarterbacks are the draw in these drafts. With Mendoza going number 1, who's going to be the second guy? So I'm sure they'll have Mel Kiper flipping out about Ty Simpson dropping. What is going to happen to Ty Simpson, the Alabama quarterback, tonight when you know teams need quarterbacks, but how desperate are they? And could someone pick him late in the first or trade back into the first?
So I was looking through draft odds. Of course, not available here in Nevada because of the gaming rule, but elsewhere. Ty Simpson was the favorite to go pick 32 tonight. Of course, pick 32 is held by the Seattle Seahawks. I feel very confident that the Seattle Seahawks will not be picking Ty Simpson if they hold the pick. So the overarching thought with that from the betting market is that someone is going to trade with Seattle and take Ty Simpson at 32. I could very easily see that happening. I could also see him falling to tomorrow night and going number 33 to the Jets or whoever trades with the Jets for 33. I could see him going. I could see Pittsburgh shocking us and picking him with their first round pick. But when it's all said and done, I do think the Arizona Cardinals are going to trade back in and Ty Simpson will go either 31 or 32. Either New England will trade out with Arizona or Seattle will trade out with Arizona. Even with it being an NFC West team, I don't think Seattle cares because I don't think Seattle is scared of Arizona getting a quarterback. And Ty Simpson especially not scared of them getting Ty Simpson.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Boy, oh boy, Mets and Phillies are not off to a great start. Mets finally snapped the losing streak. I heard Freddie Coleman yesterday, who's a Mets fan, was getting all dramatic and said, the division is over. Come on now. Calm down. Let's not panic, Parles, Mets fan.
It's over. It's over because the Braves are awesome. That's more so than what the Mets and the Phillies both stink. By the way, Phillies now up to 9 straight after losing earlier today. The Mets stink covered up the Phillies stink, and now I think everyone kind of realizes how bad the Phillies have been. I sent it to you earlier, Cofield, because I just think Atlanta's awesome. I just think the Braves are a great team, and that just could just be a steamrolling where, I mean, they're already 8.5 up on the Mets, 9 on Philly now. 9.5, actually, I should say. Very well over already in the NL East. Also, the Dodgers have company in the NL West because the Padres are really freaking good. I did not anticipate that happening, Cofield.
Again, I don't want to rain on the parade of negativity or positivity. It's early.
Sure.
And these 25 games in the middle of the season, you wouldn't pay attention as much, but they stick out because it's the beginning of the season, which brings us to number 2.
Number 2.
So solid start for the A's. And I might be the only person saying this. I have higher expectations now. I want them to find a way to fix this pen. I want these guys to get it together. The bullpen has been their biggest problem. I'm not satisfied just sitting at 13-12 and being in first place. The A's can be better. They're not even hitting yet. And they've been a little beat up. But my God, the pen, get it together. Am I being ridiculous?
No, because everyone in the AL West stinks right now, and you have to take advantage of it, right? Where I don't know how the Astros with this lineup are 6 games under. The Mariners, I was lower on Seattle coming into the year as it was. They're still much worse than I thought they were going to be. They're not doing anything well. They're 4 games under. The Angels have the best run differential in the division right now, and they're 2 games under 500. Texas is like the most classic 500 team I think I've ever seen. And the A's, even with a minus 15, like, you got to take advantage of everyone else being mediocre behind you. And if you're going to have any shot of winning this division, or look, the one good thing is the rest of the American League's pretty average right now. Getting a wild card, you got to hone it in, especially where your lineup has not been as strong as we thought it would be. That's going to improve. The bullpen you would hope would improve. But again, we know, Cofield, we knew this coming into the year. That bullpen looked on paper to be one of the worst in baseball, and it's going to be growing pains all year long for those young guys out there.
Number 1.
Number 1.
All right, Golden Knights. Lengthy delay here, which was very funny in the playoffs, especially when the cities are so close. But there's a break until tomorrow. VGK and Salt Lake. Utah sucks. No one really picked up on that the last couple of days. I couldn't really stir the pot on that one. No one buying into it, but I am. I'm into the series for that reason. Are the Mammoths scaring you now in a dead even series?
No. I thought this was going to be a long series. Thought VGK would win. I don't have anything through 2 games of data to change my mind. I think these teams are relatively even. I think VGK is a little more talented. I trust the goaltending on the Salt Lake side a little bit more, but I don't think he's capable of stealing games. I still think VGK wins in 6 or 7, Cofield. I'm not going to back off of that because the Mammoth won game 2. VGK tomorrow night very easily could win game 3, and we're back on track for VGK in 7 with home ice holding up the rest of the way.
Well, I hope they're greeted by really friendly fans because I know how upset the Utah fans were that VGK fans were chanting Utah sucks. Believe me, they'll come back with even nastier chants. Trust that. Believe that. Okay, around the NHL.
Yeah.
What has been the biggest shocker?
How pathetic the Penguins have been in this series against the Flyers. And I thought going into the postseason that the Flyers were team 16 of 16. I thought they were the worst team, and I thought it was by actually margin that the Flyers were the worst team in the postseason. Totally wrong. But the Stanley Cup playoffs make you feel like an idiot more times than not, right? There's so many upsets. It's just the way that hockey is. But this has just been embarrassing by Pittsburgh. They've been competitive in any of the games. And the Flyers are likely going to finish that up. They're likely going to either win 4 or 5. And that will be that. Dallas and Minnesota has been every bit as good as I would have hoped. That game last night was awesome.
And sort of what people, I guess you could say, feared or called accurately is that Dallas and Minnesota just might beat the pee out of each other. And then who's left standing with anything remaining?
Oh, and not only that, Colorado, with that overtime win in game 2, really puts themselves in a scenario where they could make quick work of LA. Dallas, Minnesota goes 7. Like you said, they beat each other up. Colorado sitting there is like, all right, well, we're playing a great team, but we got a lot more left in the tank than either Dallas or Minnesota. And that's part of the reason I like the chalk in Colorado to win the cup is because I thought Dallas and Minnesota would beat each other up. And that is by far the hardest opponent that Colorado I have seen the entire postseason.
One of the teams that Sam Panayotovich, one of our betting experts, said he was going to fade was Edmonton. All right, what are we seeing so far?
I think McDavid's clearly hurt. He's been a non-factor through 2 games. And I don't think Anaheim's really all that good. I don't think any of these teams out in the Pacific Pot are really all that good. But very disappointing for McDavid, who I think is clearly fighting it right now.
Coming up, we're going to talk to Shannon Kelly from Nevada Sportsnet. We'll get into some college basketball. We're going to do that again at 4:45 as we do a little roundup of college sports and talk about UNLV's former point guard, Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn, is going to Texas Tech. So we'll get into what sort of money he may have hauled in, which is pretty impressive. I think a lot of people out there in Vegas don't realize what's going on with the market and also didn't realize what they had in DGL. If you are watching the hockey game tomorrow, a great place to check it out as the Knights open up the road portion of the playoffs in Utah. Jackson's Bar and Grill, right up the road from where we are right now at the Palms, 6020 West Flamingo. Flamingo and Jones. Best value steak in town, $22 on the 1 pound ribeye, $22 on the garlic marinated bistro filet. And then they've got a boatload of games going on for gaming. During the night's games, you can win up to $775 in free play at Jackson's Bar and Grill. Go check it out. Chef Lonnie's in there hand cutting the steaks every morning just for you guys. $22 on the steaks. Great steaks. Jackson's Bar and Grill, Flamingo and Jones.
When you need cash, how quickly can LendingStore.com connect you to a lender faster than this commercial? Whether you need cash for a medical bill, groceries, or rent, LendingStore.com's network of lenders makes it quick and easy. In less time than this ad, you can fill out a few fields at LendingStore.com and find out if a lender can get you $500 to $5,000 as early as tomorrow. So visit LendingStore.com today for details. See website for details. Lending Store is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
William Hill Sportsbook is your home court, home ice, and home field for April sports betting action. Build your lineup with a same-game parlay for a shot at a big payout. Don't forget, William Hill Sportsbooks have a deep betting menu for golf each week, too. Sign up today for a new William Hill mobile account and get your first bet matched up to $250 instantly. Play more, get more, opt in for spring rewards, and get up to $500 cash back. Hundreds of deposit locations as far north as Jackpot and to the south in Laughlin. Visit williamhill.us for details.
There's a difference you can feel when you step into the showroom at Finley Honda Henderson. Sure, our cars are beautiful, built to last, and our certified pre-owned inventory is one of the largest in the country. But the difference is our people. From the sales floor to the service department, we're focused on you. Because when you're the center of our attention, everybody wins. It may not be what you're used to, but we think it should be. Welcome to the difference at Finley Honda Henderson in the Valley Auto Mall.
Summer starts at Palms Pool when your desert oasis opens March 16th. Kick back in style with a private cabana, perfect for soaking up the sun or chilling in the shade. And the best part, Nevada locals can book a cabana free. Whether you're meeting friends or taking a full day of relaxation, Palms Pool is the place to be. Reserve your cabana today and enjoy free admission and parking. Check out palms.com to book or for more information on upcoming poolside entertainment for locals age 21 plus.
Hey, it's Cofield. I'm teaming up with Nevada Brew Works to brew my own beer, and when it's finished, we're going to celebrate the beer release at the Nevada Brew Works Boca Park location. I was in there the other night, got the Western Barbecue Burger, a lager, and the Hefeweizen. All were dynamite. Nevada Brew Works in Boca Park.
Plumbers, HVAC techs, contractors, and DIYers. McFadden-Dale Industrial Hardware has the tools, parts, and supplies to power your next project. Open early and stocked with everything you need. Stop by South Decatur near Russell. McFadden-Dale Industrial Hardware. Fast, easy, and built for the pros.
Clark County Credit Union is now Create Credit Union. You can expect the same amazing service and great rates that have been part of Southern Nevada for 75 years. We have always been here for what matters most, to help you create the life you want. There are so many benefits to banking at Create Credit Union, so open an account today. It's smart, simple, and convenient. Visit createcu.org to get started. Let us help you create the life you want. Insured by American Share Insurance.
Nick here with Stefano's Greek and Mediterranean Grill. Summerlin, it's official. Stefano's is now open on Lake Mead and Buffalo. Come enjoy our beautiful dining room designed for family meals, quick lunches, and everything in between. Or swing by for fast, easy takeout with all your favorites. Gyros, bowls, shawarmas, kebabs, and our famous baklava. Our salad dressings and marinades are made with no seed oils. And our must-try fries are cooked in 100% avocado oil. The new Stefano's in Summerlin is now open. Come taste what everyone's talking about. Stefano's, real food, real fast, real healthy.
If you need to sell your house,
talk to Aaron Taylor.
You want to sell it fast and get the most cash, talk to Aaron Taylor,
the real estate guy.
Hey everybody, it's Aaron Taylor, your real estate guy. If you're hearing this right now, guess what? So are all the buyers.
That's right, Dad. While you're listening, thousands of potential buyers are too.
And that's exactly why we spend more on marketing and advertising than any other real estate agent in Nevada. Over 30 years of experience, 8,000 families helped, and hundreds of 5-star reviews.
We don't just list your home, we'll get it sold too.
Going through one of life's changes? Death, divorce, or diapers? Whatever it is, we've seen it, and we know how to help.
We give cash advances for anything or buy your home in 24 hours if needed.
No stress, just solutions, Jacob.
So if you're even thinking about selling, call the team buyers and sellers already trust.
702-310-6683.
eXp Realty, license number 38886. Call for details.
Talk to Aaron Taylor,
The real estate guy.
One moment can turn life upside down. Your comeback starts with the right team by your side. At DeCastro Verde Law, we've spent decades helping injured Nevadans take back their lives. We never back down. We never give up. We're the DeCastro Verde Brothers, and we have your back. Together, we win.
BrothersWin.com.
At DeCastro Verde Law, the brothers have your back. BrothersWin.com.
Patty Davidson here from BetMoneyHoney.com. Have you ever felt like the odd man out at a friend's house watching the game? After years in the sports betting industry, I can teach you the rules of different sporting events so you can now be part of that crowd of cheering fans with an understanding of the game. Plus, I can teach you how to place a bet on a game, which will completely change your perspective because you too can be a winner. Join me at BetMoneyHoney.com. That's BetMoneyHoney.com.
It's the Stanley Cup playoffs on Sports USA, and we head to the Garden for Game 3 between the Buffalo Sabres and the Boston Bruins. The Sabres can cut the competition down a size thanks to Tage Thompson. The Bruins are hungry to serve up a big helping of pasta.
Kostruk across, fired. He scores!
It's the Sabres at the Bruins. Game
10 seconds.
on your home for the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Stanley Cup. Sports USA.
Thursday at 3:30 on 1230 The Game.
It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
Glad to be hanging out at the Palms on a big day for Raiders fans. Fernando Mendoza expected to go number one. Fernando Mania running through the veins of all the Raiders fans here. Two big parties, Chaos and also Ghost Bar. I want to remind you at the Palms, buffets are a little harder to come by now around Las Vegas, and they've got the AYCE buffet here Wednesday and Thursday nights. Oh, looky here. Lobster and snow crab night. Friday night's prime rib and snow crab night. They got a brunch buffet featuring bottomless mimosas. That is 7 days a week. So check it out. One of the many fine dining establishments here at the Palms. Let's go to Northern Nevada and find out what's going on. We got all these stadium projects and arena projects that keep being proposed here. They actually have shovels on the ground. We're going to get to some of those projects that are going on in Northern Nevada with Nevada Sportsnet's Shannon Kelly, who's up with Parles and Cofield. Shannon, how are you?
Hey, guys. I'm doing good. Nice to chat with you. And I know you love buffets, Steve, when you come up to Reno, too.
Yes. We've talked about that before. Good memory. I'll go off the beaten path here for a second. NFL fandom in Reno. Is there a dominant group, even if it's, only 22% of the market loves this team? Are there more fans of one team than, say, any other that you can recognize?
I think there's probably more Niners fans than Raiders fans, I feel like. But I do see a lot of Raiders license plates, like more and more I've seen over the years. Like I see more of them around town. So I think it's probably a good mix. But if I had to pick one that comes to top of mind, I think there's probably the Niners have a slight edge here.
All right. So let's get the update on what's going on with Steve Alford and the portal and Wolfpack basketball as they try to rebuild things. I'm a gigantic fan of Weems, and if I'm correct, he was a guy they got on the JUCO front. It looks like they've got another they got a hometown kid in this case, who's the Reed High School alum who's playing JUCO, who's now going to be 28 points a game. He's going to be joining up with Alford.
Yeah, this kid, TJ Coulter, a former Reed High standout, signed with the Wolfpack after spending 2 seasons at Laramie County Community College, and he led the junior college ranks in scoring last season. Head coach Steve Alford, as you mentioned, he's been busy in the portal. He and his staff have done a really nice job thus far, piecing a roster together after retaining some players and getting some players out of the portal. But this kid, though, I think he has a shot really to compete. Coulter's long-range shooting is one of his strong suits. He knocked down more than 100 three-pointers last year. Nevada offered him a scholarship back in March after assistant coach Lo Leaf actually watched him play while Nevada was up in Laramie for their game. So he was able to
see him play. And in that game, he put up more than 20 points. But I think this guy can really be able to make an impact right away, especially after Nevada lost Tayshaun Comer and Corey Kemper Jr. In the offseason just to graduation.
They also got a big man recruit from Kelvin Sampson's Houston team.
They did, yeah, and Cedric Loss. Really interesting story with him, just given how, he grew up on the Ivory Coast, then spent some time playing basketball in Canada, but didn't really play basketball much growing up. He really only played it the last couple of years of his high school career. And then he actually spent a year at Liberty High School down in Henderson, and then played ball in San Diego as well, played some high school ball there. But I think it'll be interesting to see, what he can do and to add some more depth up to the front court. Nevada added Memphis transfer Simon Majok earlier in the transfer portal period. But I think, it'll be good to just have some more depth up there, especially after Joel Armo trading, got hurt, and Nevada was pretty thin at center for a good chunk of the season. So I think to be able to get two big men that can compete against each other and to have some depth there, I think is going to be huge.
Shannon Kelly, Nevada Sportsnet. We'll go back about 10 days, and they had a couple of retentions. Peyton White's a guy, and I'm curious to see what you think he's going to turn into. Every time I see him, I start Googling. I forget what high school he went to. Was he? I know he was. I know he's from the Valley. I don't know if it was Crespi, but he. Every time I see him, I'm like, he must have played quarterback or defensive end. Like, he's got that kind of body type. I kind of wonder.
He really does.
At like 6'5" and like 220, what kind of player he's going to turn into. He showed good signs last year.
Yeah, he really did. I think as a freshman, he didn't look like a freshman out there, but he has a pretty big body, and I think he's only going to continue to grow and to get better. So I think the fact that Nevada was able to retain him was huge because he's already been in the system. He had a lot of playing time last year. So I think he's another big piece that Nevada certainly can use, along with, as you mentioned, Weems, and then, of course, retaining Elijah Price, too, is huge.
So give me the vibes around the women's program as they have a new coach and they start to collect some transfers.
Yeah, Kelly Sopak is the new head women's basketball coach here, and it just feels, I think there's just a lot of optimism, really, because given how this program has struggled and it needed some sort of change, and Nevada went and got an out-of-the-box hire in Kelly Sopak, who is a very highly respected coach at the prep and AAU circuit in Northern California, coached a lot of WNBA players, and now he's landed a couple players from right here, I should say, in Nevada, and Alexis Swillis from UNLV, and then Iowa State's Allie Tank. So a couple Division I transfers, so slowly piecing the roster together. But I think there's, like you mentioned, just better vibes just all around, and just more optimism. I think people are just excited to see what this program can do after it's had just a tough stretch the last several years.
Shannon, let's go to spring football. How did the spring game go in a unique site?
Yeah, it was pretty cool just to see how fans in Churchill County just rallied around the Wolfpack program, went out to Fallon. The team took a bus out there, and they've taken their spring game on the road the last couple of seasons. They went to Carson for the last 2 years and then took it out to Churchill County this year. But just really cool to see just communities rally around this program from small town Nevada. It was interesting. The silver team beat the blue team 17-0. Quarterback Luke Duncan was on the blue team, threw a couple picks. So not necessarily what fans wanted to see as he's competing for a starting job with Carter Jones. Carter Jones did not play in the spring game. He's suffered a little minor elbow injury during spring camp, so he didn't play in the spring game. But, I think a spring game is almost just that. I think it's hard to look into those, too, because I feel like in some spring games you've seen guys who have done really well, and then when the season comes around, they haven't done much. So I think Wolfpack fans are hopefully probably, optimistic that that's not a sign of how the season is going to go, given how Duncan threw a couple picks there.
So a long way to go in that quarterback battle then.
Yeah, I think so. I think, Carter Jones, I think he showed a lot of strides in spring camp there just before he had went down with that little minor injury. But looking at both him and Luke Duncan, these are two guys that really can throw the ball well. And you look, you've seen AJ Bianco. We've seen him the last couple of seasons. He's right there in the mix too. But I think it'll be interesting just to see, which guy I think is really going to just step up in these off-season workouts and who's going to build that bond with the receivers and, who's going to have that chemistry when fall camp comes around, because I feel like there's so much work that they have to do during this off-season stretch to best prepare themselves for when fall camp comes around in August.
So Shannon, the quote, a beacon of hope facility for Nevada Athletics, halfway home now, right?
Halfway home with the indoor fieldhouse project, which was really cool to see just how it's been, the construction, how it's been going up now the last several months. And it'll officially be done around October, but the intramural fields that Nevada has practiced on for football and soccer and all that, those are getting resurfaced, which it's all part of the project that should be done over the summer. But just cool to see that something that's been talked about for so many years is finally coming to life on campus. And it's been cool just to drive by, when we've been over there for spring practice and whatnot, and just see each day more progress that's being made. Certainly a needed facility for Nevada to continue to try and compete in the Mountain West.
Shannon Kelly, Nevada Sportsnet. Let's wrap on this one. Another project that's coming along quickly is the soccer stadium project, the Boulevard Reno Pro Soccer Stadium, 6,000 seats, hotel, casino project, retail, theater. Where exactly is that?
So it's a little bit past the airport south, a little south. So over by where the old Jones West Ford site is. So you can actually see it from the freeway. Okay. So pretty centrally located in town, but I think, it's pretty ambitious. And I think it's been awesome to see just what this Reno Pro Soccer group has been able to do to try and bring professional soccer here back to Reno. So this Boulevard project with the hotel, casino, a theater, some other retail shops, but the 6,000 seat soccer stadium it looks just one of a kind just from the renderings that we've seen thus far. But progress continues to be made. There's a demolition that's going on over at Jones West Ford today. So progress is being made one day at a time.
Hey, last 30,
exciting stuff.
Sorry to cut you off. Last 30 seconds. I know you were back in New Jersey. You got family ties, in Morristown. Did you go to a Yankee game?
I did go to a Yankee game. Yes, I did. I went to go see the Yankees play the Angels. The Yankees lost, unfortunately, but Aaron Judge and Stanton hit a home run. So that was cool to see. Yankees lost. They've been doing well, so it's acceptable. But it was a lot of fun and great to see family.
Okay,
back there too.
You mentioned buffet, my love of food. What did you get at the park? I don't even know what the food at Yankee Stadium's like now.
Oh, gosh. We actually ate at Billy's across the street, so we didn't eat at the park. But I didn't see anybody have those crazy, dessert fried chicken looking things. I was looking all over for those to see if anybody had them, and I didn't see them. Maybe we were in the wrong section of the ballpark.
Oh, that looks so good. So unhealthy, so good. Just such eye candy, literally. All right, Shannon, we'll have a good week. We'll talk to you soon. I don't know if you're watching the draft tonight, but enjoy it. We'll catch up later.
Well, thank you, guys. I will be watching it. I'll talk to you later.
There she is, Shannon Kelly. Now I feel like we need to keep her on for a few more minutes and start breaking down the draft. We'll continue to do that in the second half of the show. Cofield & Company live at the Palms.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans